Hello. Estamos también en directo por YouTube. How are you doing, guys? I hope you guys are doing amazing today. Alright. Perfecto. Lo que vamos a estar haciendo el día de hoy será aprender inglés con noticias. Alright. Voy a enseñarles cómo aprender inglés, eso, con noticias en general, aquí en YouTube. Igualmente la gente de TikTok lo va a poder ver tranquilísimamente. Vamos a utilizar páginas especiales, alright. Bueno, páginas especiales tampoco, son páginas que todo el mundo conoce, ¿no? So, give me one second. Voy a hacer todo esto que tengo por aquí. Give me one second. Perfect, imperfect. That's a thing. Alright, so now we are here just practicing a little bit of English. And vamos a esperar igual que la gente se vaya uniendo, igual en YouTube. That's it. Ok, voy a avisar, por cierto, que estamos en live. That's it. Ya estaba avisando que estábamos en directo por YouTube y por TikTok. So, vamos a poner la cámara por aquí. I hope you guys are doing amazing today. We are gonna be checking. Vamos a colocar esto por aquí. Oh, by the way. I fucked up. Ya va. Aquí. Quiero activar una cosita por aquí. That's it. Okay. That's it. Muy bien. Entonces, les voy a enseñar hoy a cómo practicar tu inglés con noticias. Right? Es esencial aprender a practicar inglés con noticias. Las noticias lo que te van a hacer es ayudar de alguna u otra manera a obtener un poco más de vocabulario, ¿no? Sabemos que el vocabulario, cuando estamos hablando inglés, es, vaya, esencial. Obvio, porque sin vocabulario no puedes hablar de diferentes cosas de nicho. Y ese es el tema, ¿no? El tema cuando estás practicando con cosas de nicho es justamente que a veces nos cuesta por el tema de las palabras, el vocabulario y demás. So, eso es justamente lo que vamos a practicar, right? So, vamos a utilizar, igual la gente de TikTok, la gente de YouTube, vamos a utilizar dos páginas. Vamos a utilizar BBC y vamos a utilizar CNN, alright? BBC and CNN. Give me one second, voy a abrirles aquí de una vez. Estoy esperando igual que la gente de TikTok se conecte porque normalmente tarda un poco en eso, ¿no? So let's go ahead. Let me just open a little bit of YouTube too. So well, I'm gonna explain in English now what we are gonna be doing. We are gonna practice English. I am going to teach you guys how to, practice English with news. So, well, that's what we are gonna be doing right now, right? Most of the cases is because of the vocabulary. The vocabulary is one of the most difficult things that people can do. Oh, se ve como oscuro, by the way. Déjame, voy a subirle un poquito la ganancia a la cámara porque yo no sé por qué se ve tan oscuro. Vamos a colocarlo más o menos como ahí. Yo creo que ahí se va a ver perfecto. That's the thing. That's the cache. Alright, that's it. Well, that's better. That's way better. Even though I'm going to do this just in case you don't guys see me well on YouTube, not on TikTok. So that's what we are basically doing. That's it. Subirle un poquito la ganancia a la cámara. Okay, let's get it. Okay, let's get it. We can start now. Alright. The pages that we are gonna be using are specifically two pages, as I said. It will be BBC and CNN. Okay. The thing with the BBC, it's in my opinion, it's more formal. Alright. That is the difference between BBC and CNN, in my opinion. I don't know. BBC is more formal than CNN. CNN tends to post sometimes words or news with different words and stuff, and well, that's what we're gonna be doing. Igual la gente que está uniendo en TikTok, si lo quieren ver completo full, pueden ir a YouTube, pero igual lo vamos a practicar aquí. Lo que vamos a estar haciendo es aprender vocabulario con noticias. Okay, so let's begin. All right, and on YouTube, I'm going to show you what we are going to be watching right now. Basically, these are the news that we are going to be checking today. Igual, si la gente de TikTok me está oyendo y están practicando el inglés y ven que voy muy rápido, por favor, díganmelo en los comentarios de vas muy rápido, qué significa esta palabra y tal, y bueno, that's it. Igual en YouTube no estoy viendo los comentarios, pero posiblemente me vayan apareciendo por ahí. Alright, so let's see. We are gonna be checking different news. For example, it says right here, the moment a polar bear took a walrus herd. I don't like this one. Oh, the Turkish city built on green gold. That's interesting. Green gold. What is green gold? This is pistachio, I think. We're gonna be checking out. What else? What other news do we got here? As we are checking here, I have the top US content tutorial. I don't want to talk about those things because usually TikToks is super like let's say weak about banning people. That's it. That's kind of bad. Okay. Let me check. Are we close to cure seasonal allergies? Oh, I like this one. I like this one because actually right now I have an allergy. So that will be cool. Okay, so how are we gonna do this? Basically, para practicar nosotros vocabulario, lo que tenemos que hacer es leer y sacar todas las palabras. Por ejemplo, we have this word here that is kind of weird. I'm gonna move a little bit my. No, I don't want to move this. I want to move my. We got this this word that is kind of weird. So we're just gonna double click it and we just put here and it said search Google for hey. All right. Probably it's gonna be in Spanish as I said, but we check just Google hey meaning and the word is gonna show up here and it's a eno. I don't know what that is. I think that's this thing's for sure I remember because of Minecraft. Okay, so let's read it basically. An end to hay fever. The new weapon to hay fever. That's it. That's kind of weird. You see. Por ende, esto es lo que yo siempre hago para practicar vocabulario. Cuando no tengo dudas de cómo se traduciría esto, porque fíjense que aquí decía eno. Pero eno siendo como sustantivo. Sin embargo, como está el to, está trabajando como verbo. So, ya ahí cambia totalmente. So, lo que vamos a hacer es buscar completo to hay. And it would be, vamos a buscar con el meaning porque sale como en español. Tomar un eno, recoger eno, pero no me convence principalmente porque dice fever, so no sé, no me convence. Podemos también, cuando tengamos la duda del vocabulario, podemos buscarlo en Cambridge, normalmente está acá. Cambridge, no el traductor no, sino la palabra como tal de Cambridge. That's what is gonna be helpful here. So, Cambridge Dictionary, we check it out here, and it says grass that is cut or dried and used as animal food. I don't like that one. Because it doesn't have, it's senseless. It doesn't have sense at all. I don't know. So, well, what we are gonna be doing if we have we don't know what that is. Basically, what we are gonna be checking is only translating with this app. For people of TikTok, this is DeepL, okay? DeepL, it's one of the best translators I would ever recommend to everyone. So if we say, for example, to hay fever, we are gonna have a translation here, and it says fiebre del heno. What the hell is that? I have no idea what that is. Thank you for your likes, Clara. How are you doing today? All right, so we're gonna continue with this. And as I said, we are going to learn vocabulary with different news. So that's it. So an end to hay fever. I don't know what hay fever is. Fiebre del heno. So that's it. Igual para la gente de TikTok, si quieren verlo full, lo pueden ir a ver a YouTube. Basically lo que estamos haciendo aquí es practicar con este reading, and we are gonna you will just practicing it, right? So it says an end to hay fever, the new wave of effective cures for seasonal allergies. All right. This is the pronunciation. Si no saben alguna palabra, me la pueden ir colocando igual en YouTube. Ahí estamos en directo en YouTube. Si tengo la caja porque no tengo el trípode de la cámara. Esta cámara es un rollo para el trípode de aquí arriba. Y estamos en directo por aquí también. Entonces, that's the thing, alright? Si tienen dudas con alguna palabra, me la pueden ir dejando en YouTube o me la pueden ir dejando aquí en TikTok, que la voy a ir leyendo. Alright. Oh, thank you so much. That's the idea. We are practicing because of that. Okay. It says, is it possible to train the body to resist seasonal allergies? That's the whole promise by new line of immunotherapy that is reviving an old treatment. This is quite cool. Si no entienden alguna palabra, me la pueden ir dejando por aquí tranquilamente, que la voy a estar leyendo, alright? De todas maneras, lo que vamos a hacer es que yo voy a ir quitando esto para que así puedan practicar más el listening, and that's it, alright? Voy a repetirlo. Is it possible to train the body to resist seasonal allergies? That's the hope promised by the new line of immunotherapy that is reviving an old treatment. If you guys have no idea what immunotherapy is immunotherapy, alright? The pronunciation is like what? Immunotherapy. People on YouTube, I don't know if you guys see me here. It's therapy. It's not therapy, it's therapy with a TH right there, alright? ¿Y qué traduce? ¿Qué traduciría eso? Bueno, podemos interpretarlo por aquí. Voy a volver a voltear la cámara, as you can see here. Dice, is it possible to train, entrenar? En ese caso yo sé que muchas veces se traduce como tren, pero bueno, cuando vemos aquí to, it's because it's a verb, right? And it's to train, entrenar. Es posible entrenar el cuerpo para resistir a alergias de temporada, seasonal allergies. That is basically the translation of it, right? That's the hope promised, this pronunciation, as you guys remember in the last live. Clara, muchas gracias por los likes. I see right there. Okay, as we see right here, promised, this pronunciation right here is with the T at the end. Se pronuncia con una T al final. A pesar de que no tenga ninguna T, fonéticamente hablando se pronuncia así. So, hope promised by a new line of immunotherapy. As you remember, I said this pronunciation is with a TH, immunotherapy, that is reviving an old treatment. This pronunciation treatment. Alright. So, this is a name. The next part is a name, so it's quite crazy. I'm gonna start right now. And it says like this. Glennis Cadden, that's a name, so no problem. Glennis Cadden still remember one of her first patients for sublingual immunotherapy. 40 years later, his hay fever was so debilitating. Oh, debilitating. That's an interesting word, right? Debilitating. That's an interesting word because it's similar to Spanish. So, that's crazy. No, debilitating. My bad. That he couldn't walk to the local tram station without wheezing. As Cadden's treatment involved assistance, the patient to a culprit of allergies, French Poland, with drops under his tongue. Drops under his tongue. Básicamente, gotas por debajo de la lengua. Drop under his tongues. And remember, if you guys remember in the last live, I was chatting about the pronunciation of I between consonants. It couldn't be E. The pronunciation would be I, right? So it's his allergies, British Poland, with drops under his tongue. That's how you guys pronounce it well. Alright, así lo pronunciamos de esa manera. Eso creo que en YouTube también lo hablé el otro día. Hice un video justamente de que la I entre consonantes no se pronuncia I, sino que es entre una I y una E, una I corta. So that's what we are gonna be doing, right? He turned up at my house with a case of wine because I had completely altered his life in the spring. Says Cadden, vice president of the non-profit Euphora and honorary consultant allergist and rhinologist at the University College Hospital, London, UK. ¿Qué tal le van entendiendo? Igual lo voy a leer los comentarios aquí en TikTok y voy a leer los comentarios en YouTube. A ver, porque en YouTube no los tengo abiertos tampoco. Déjame abrirlos por aquí a un ladito. That's it. Okay, so voy a repetir una vez más. He turned up at my house with a case of wine because I had completely altered his life in the spring. Basically that, we are saying right here that for sure his allergies were so bad during spring, right? So says Cadden, vice president of the non-profit Euphora and honorary consultant allergist and rhinologist at the University College Hospital in UK. Todo bien, that's great. A ver, YouTube, excelente. Okay, I like it. All right, so and then I got much flack. I stopped. What is that word? Flacked. As you can see right here, flagged. Estoy enseñando justamente cómo practicar con estos artículos, porque estos artículos son muy formales. So, lo que vamos a hacer es que cuando no tengamos una idea, por ejemplo, esta palabra yo no la conozco. I will recognize it, right? So, what we are going to be doing is just put this. We just double click it, and we search here, like when it says search Google for flag, and it's going to show up here. In case you guys, I mean, it doesn't show up here, que sí que es coloquial, estadounidense para un agente de prensa publicista. We're going to set flag, and we're going to search meaning. Just like that. Flag meaning. That's what we are going to be searching in case we don't know the word. And this will show up. And this is interesting, right? Because it say flag and say informal. Informal. So it's not formal. That's what we were talking about. And this is BBC. All right? So it says here. Wait, no, where is it? Here. Informal. A publicity agent. So, una persona que un policista, básicamente. So that's what we are going to be doing, right? Flag will also work as a verb as criticar, but well, and here we can search the pronunciation.
Flag.
Flag, as you can see. Well, people on YouTube will not listen to it because I'm playing it on people on TikTok will not listen to it because I'm playing it on YouTube. So if you click right here, as I said, you're gonna hear the
Flag.
So well, let's continue with this. And this is crazy. This is crazy because I mean the vocabulary here, it's not a piece of cake, to be honest. All right, so then I got so much flack, and I stopped. More than 400 million people worldwide experience allergy rhinitis. I have that allergy. Actually, I was going to be on live. I think it was yesterday, but I couldn't. It was impossible for me to be on live because basically what happened was that I had a super bad allergy, and I don't know. That was super terrible. ¿Cómo puedo mejorar leyendo en inglés? ¿Me pasas algún consejo? Sí, claro. Cuando eso es lo que justamente estamos hablando. Yo tengo, por ejemplo, una chica en las clases privadas que ella al principio, de hecho, que no sé si de repente estará por aquí por el live, creo que está en YouTube, porque ella casi siempre, pues, como busca estar en el live. Cuando tiene ella al principio, cuando le hice la entrevista, ella tenía el problema de que no leía, o sea, leía muy pausado. Leía, por ejemplo, more than 400 million, leía de esa manera. ¿Qué pasó? Lo que nosotros hicimos fue básicamente una estrategia de lectura como repetitiva. Entonces, cada 2 semanas leíamos, pero leíamos mucho, en plan, leíamos un artículo completo. Y la idea era cada vez repetir el mismo párrafo, por ejemplo, hasta que no dijera el mismo párrafo bien, no pasábamos al siguiente. Por ejemplo, aquí tenemos este. More than 400 million people worldwide experience allergy and rhinitis, inflammation of the nasal passages from a reaction to airborne allergens. Sorry. It happens when you're... Ahí, por ejemplo, como yo me equivoqué, ahí en el caso de ella, yo fuese ido para atrás. No, vamos para atrás, vamos a comenzar otra vez. So, more than 400 million people worldwide experience allergy and rhinitis, inflammation of the nasal passages from a reaction to airborne allergens. It happens when your immune system mistakenly identifies something like animal dander or does mutate as harmful triggering symptoms that can include y así. Entonces lo repetíamos y lo repetíamos y lo repetíamos y lo repetíamos hasta que lo dijésemos bien. Eso para mejorar la lectura rápida. Y después el tema estaba en que ya leía muy bien, chévere, pero no retenía. Entonces yo le preguntaba, ¿pero qué leíste? Entonces me decía, ay, no me acuerdo, déjame leerlo otra vez. Y yo, ok, that's the thing. Entonces, ¿qué hicimos? Bueno, ya en ese momento lo que hicimos fue bajarle 2 y lo leíamos un poco más lento. More than 400 people worldwide experience an allergy rhinitis. Lento, pero fluido. Y después, eventualmente, gracias a que yo le preguntaba a muchos, ay, ¿qué entendiste? ¿Qué entendiste? ¿Qué entendiste? ¿Qué entendiste? ¿Qué entendiste? Ya me daban efectivamente la respuesta, ¿no? Ya, por ejemplo, hoy en día puede leer un artículo y decirme qué entendió después. Eso es muy bueno, por lo menos a ella le sirvió un montón. Yo estoy seguro, Carla, que a ti también te va a servir muchísimo. Igual no te recomiendo artículos tan formales, porque por lo menos en este caso, este artículo es heavy de leer. Tiene muchas palabras. Mira, fíjate, por ejemplo, aquí hay palabras que son muy de nicho, ¿no? Las palabras que son de nicho, como allergens, o dander de repente, o runny nose, bueno, runny nose no tanto, eso es del día a día. No sé, palabras que son así muy de nicho, ¿sabes? Es heavy. Entonces intenta darle con menos, darle con unos artículos no tan heavy. Hay una parte en CNN que se llama Life What Better. Déjame ver si te lo puedo conseguir aquí. Igual a la gente de YouTube se lo voy a mostrar por aquí, que yo sé que no los estoy leyendo, sorry. Hace que en YouTube no sé qué pasa, que es como más complicado leer los comentarios. Eso, no sé, that's kinda crazy. A ver, déjame ver si encuentro por aquí. Aquí tú te vas al apartado de Health. Déjame un segundo. Aquí. Aquí, se va al apartado de Health. En CNN, que este es CNN.com. Para mejorar la lectura. Y aquí hay una parte que se llama Life But Better. Wait a second. Life But Better. ¿Dónde está? ¿Dónde está? ¿Dónde está? No me digas que la quitaron. No creo que la hayan quitado. Ah, okay, aquí. More Life But Better. Me da error. Ah, no. Ay, como que la quitaron. No seas malo. Si ayer me metí. Ay, como que la quitaron. That's crazy. Bueno, anyways. Déjame ver si la consigo por aquí. Pero así se llama. O sea, en CNN tú te metes, dice Life But Better. Aquí está. Esta es la que estamos checando. Life But Better. No, me da error. Debe ser que estaba caída o algo así. Pero aquí normalmente hay artículos que son fáciles de entender, fáciles para practicar el reading. Y cuando es una persona que, bueno, en una clase privada, que estoy dando una clase intermedio básico, siempre utilizo esto, ¿ves? Por ejemplo, dice, Your daily walk matters in more ways than you think. O sea, tu caminata diaria importa más de lo que piensas. O sea, esto es básico. Me explico. Entonces el vocabulario que va a estar aquí no va a ser tan heavy. Entonces, when people think about building strength, they likely picture lifting weights or taking a high intensive exercise class. Walking is often dismissed as just cardio or something you do to reach your step count or get some fresh air. You see, no es tan complicado. Entonces, esto lo puedes leer para practicar el reading. Así, pues empiezas lento, sin pausas, lo más fluido posible. Y después, eventualmente intentas, pero entonces, ¿qué entendí? Entendí esto y lo otro. Después lo pasas por un traductor and that's it. Por lo menos eso es lo que yo hago con la gente que las clases privadas que necesitan practicar el reading. Y después eventualmente lo mejoran. So. Alright, vamos a ver un momentico los comentarios de YouTube porque los tengo abandonadísimos. A ver, ¿cómo puedo aprender vocabulario? Bueno, el vocabulario es más de lo mismo. Por lo menos yo tengo una lista propia. Yo tengo un chat de WhatsApp en donde literalmente yo coloco todas las palabras que no conozco, ¿no? Por ejemplo, la semana antepasada aprendí una palabra que se llama churn out. Churn out es producir cosas en masa. O sea, tienes una compañía y produces cosas en masa. Solo lo que vas a hacer es, uno, intentar anotar esa palabra. Y dos, intentar usarla. Y ahora, si después, ¿qué tal, Ron? Si después se te complica porque no te acuerdas qué significa la palabra churn out, enséñasela a alguien. A una persona que no sepa inglés. Mira, ¿tú sabes lo que significa churn out en inglés? Ah, bueno, significa esto. Por ejemplo, ayer con el tema de los partidos y tal, estaban bateando, ¡pam! Y dice, skies it. Batearon no un home run, sino una pelota, la batearon durísimo. Entonces decía el comentarista, and skies it. Y yo digo, skies it. Skies it significa cuando la tiran así para arriba, que no es home run, pero vaya, muy alta. Entonces, eso yo se lo enseñé a alguien. Literalmente le dije, oye, mira, ¿tú sabes qué significa esto? Entonces, y así yo sé que me lo voy a aprender. Entonces, esa es la manera que uso yo para aprender. Vamos a ver, ¿qué más? Me preguntan aquí en YouTube, ¿por qué esta rayita? Ok, voy a mostrarla en TikTok. Muchas gracias por verme, te estoy siguiendo. Pero, sí, claro que sí. Voy a estar haciendo muchos lives. Esa es la idea. Pasa que con el tiempo limitado que tengo es heavy. Alright, pero claro que sí, esa es la idea. Espero verte más por aquí. Ok, me están preguntando en YouTube de por qué esta palabra tiene esta rayita. Calorie burning. Esta rayita significa que esto es un adjetivo. Calorie es un sustantivo, burning, como tiene ing, es un sustantivo también. A pesar de que burn es un verbo, ¿no? Un verbo sustantivado, vamos a decirlo así. Esta rayita pasa es porque la estamos adjetivando. De alguna u otra manera, lo que está haciendo este calorie burning es activity. Alright? Es modificar a la palabra activity. Entonces, eso es actividad de quema de calorías. That's the thing, right? Super interesting. Entonces, siempre en inglés vamos a encontrar este tipo de palabras. Posiblemente dentro de este artículo podemos conseguir más. Pero, bueno, en general, eso es lo que significa calorie burning. Alright? That is interesting. No, de nada. Ok, so let's see. Vamos a continuar entonces aquí con nuestro reading. Let's see. And it says, a ver, ajá, yo lo leí, okay, more than 400 people 400 million people worldwide experience allergy rhinitis, inflammation of the nasal passages from a reaction to airborne allergens. It happens when your immune system mistakenly identifies something, like an animal adder or dust mites, as harmful, triggering symptoms that can include a runny nose, itchy eyes, sneezing, and in its worst, breathing difficulties. When it's seasonal, such as in response to pollen, allergy rhinitis is called hay fever. I didn't know that was called like that, to be honest. But let me tell you something. For example, yesterday I had a huge problem. What happened was that I was trying to go live on TikTok and I was trying to go live on YouTube too. However, it was for me like super difficult because my I got my nose stuck. And I remember I said, all right, you know what? I'm gonna take a walk. I'm gonna walk to Farmatodo, which is the farmacia here, right? A pharmacy here, right? So I walked there, and I said, when I come back, I'm gonna put I'm gonna try to get some drops on my nose strips, and later I'm going to go live. However, when I got here, it was impossible because even not only my nose was stocked, but also I was sneezing and I had like breathing difficulties. And I'm not going live today. It's kind of crazy. I know I said I was going live today, but it was impossible for me. So, well, that's what happened, right? So I don't know if this is seasonal. I don't think this is seasonal though. Because usually when we are talking about seasonal allergies, it's because there's like a type of season specifically where pollen shows up, and there's a bunch of dust in the air and stuff. But I don't think this is seasonal. I just think it's me with my weak immune system right nowadays. So that's crazy. All right. As well as affecting quality of life, hay fever can have several long-term consequences, including the risk of developing both respiratory infections and asthma. Yeah, that's true. Plus, it affects a lot of people in the UK. Around 1 in 4 adults and 1 in 8 children have allergy rhinitis, leading to at least 16 million doctor's office visits per year, with similar high figures in Australia and the US. And a number of main growing studies find an increase in prevalence over time in religion, including Europe, the US, and Australia. There is also growing evidence that hay fever symptoms are becoming more severe with the climate change. Good, right? Good. YouTube? Good. Fair enough. All right. So let's continue right here. Okay. Yeah, there's news. Oh, okay, yeah. It says there's news. Says allergies, high quality, effective, and safe therapies are now available for hay fever. Most treat symptoms, but one allergen, immunotherapy, which is called AIT, is more of a cure, teaching the body to react less certain allergens, and it may reroute the common hay fever to asthma pathway. Interesting. All right, that's basically it. As I said right here, fever to asthma. As you can see, guys, right here on TikTok also. You can see the slashes here. It's because it's an adjective. We are not talking about a verb. We are not talking about a noun here. I'm gonna show it up so that you can see it. All right, give me 1 second. You see, this it's an adjective. This is not a verb. This is not a noun. So well, this is the thing, right? Okay. So we continue, and it says, far more people could benefit from these treatments than are receiving them. Very few people get to see the right person to treat their diseases, and they don't get to see when they don't get to see them at a stage when the disease is early, complicated and easy to treat, says Caddy. Basically, what it's referring right here, what it means is the fact that people usually tend to go to the wrong doctor, and they don't get to see right people in order to attend their allergies. And not to attend, my bad, to treat their allergies. And so bad. I have never gone to a doctor because of my allergies. I gotta be serious. I have never gone to a doctor to see them. So that's, I know, kind of bad, but well, this is basically it, right? Okay, and it says a serious health concern, and it says part of the problem is that even health professionals don't always take allergies really seriously. says clinical allergist like Durham, emeritus professor of allergy and respiratory medicine in Imperial College London and Royal Brompton Hospital. Generally, practitioners often tells patients just to go pharmacy for an antihistamine, for example, rather than referring to them an allergist to or considering something preventative and the long term, like allergen immunotherapy. He says, super crazy, super crazy. Basically, because what it says right here is the fact that people, doctors, generally don't take this serious, and this is so bad because I'm not really sure about allergy rhinitis. I don't have that thing. I don't know if you guys have allergy rhinitis here, but in my case, I don't. I don't. I have allergies, but I don't really know if this is allergy rhinitis. As I said, I haven't never gone to a doctor before, but people don't take it serious. So I can understand why. I know it's gonna sound like stupid, right? That's a thing, right? And it says general practitioners often tell patients just to go to a pharmacy for antihistamine. That's crazy because that happens here a lot. People don't go to a doctor in my country, right? Because it's quite expensive, so people don't have money to go there generally, right? So and the ones who have, for example, insurances and stuff, they go there and they reach the doctor and say, hi, what can I get for this allergy? I just go to the pharmacy and grab this. That's it. They don't go to the target, to the main target, and this is a problem because basically what they are causing is like a long-term drawback, and this is terrible. And it claims hay fever is a major problem, and it's often trivialized. As I said, le voy a enseñar qué pasa cuando hay una palabra así rara, que quieran aprenderse, que no conocen. Igual ya lo he enseñado aquí, estoy en directo en YouTube, por eso es que estaba leyendo por aquí. Pero les voy a enseñar a la gente de TikTok cómo se hace. Bueno, mira, fíjense. Ustedes van a agarrar y ven la palabra, puede ser aquí aquí en la computadora. Ahorita, por ejemplo, estoy en BBC leyendo una noticia. Entonces le dan doble clic o bueno, la buscan y le dan search Google for the word, right? Entonces esta, por ejemplo, no la sé pronunciar. Aquí te da la fonética.
Trivialize.
Trivialized. And it says make something seem less important, significant or complex than it really is. Es decir, hacer que algo parezca ser menos importante, significante o complejo como realmente es. Supongamos que no les sale esto, no les sale todo esto. No pasa nada, ustedes buscan la palabra y buscan meaning. Como ven, ya yo lo he buscado varias veces porque aquí me ha salido así. Lo buscan de esta manera y les va a salir acá. Dice trivializado y así, trivialized. And that's how you guys do it. Let me check. Okay. My bad. I have allergies, as I said. I mean, it's weird. It's not a coincidence that we are reading this. Okay, so it's often trivialized by those who don't have it. Darham says, if you think about what we do in life, we work, we sleep, and we have fun, and all of those things are seriously impacted by hay fever. Basically, because when we have this fever, it's common that, you guys cannot sleep well, you guys cannot have fun, you guys, cannot work as hard as you guys usually do, and that is the problem of hay fever. That is the reason why, right? So, okay. Hay fever sufferers are more. Wait, what is it here? Okay. Oh, I'm gonna say hi to everyone. Hi. How are you doing? Si tienen alguna duda, alguna palabra en inglés, me la pueden ir dejando también en YouTube, en TikTok, en cualquiera de los dos. Okay, so high fever is a major problem, and it's often high fever sufferers are more likely to have difficulty falling and staying asleep, to feel fatigue. How do you pronounce this word? Vamos a hacer lo mismito porque yo sé, for sure I know what this word is, but
Fatigued.
Fatigue. But this is a word that I don't usually work with. So let me check. Okay. All right, and we continue. It says to feel fatigue and to wake frequently at night. For example, seasonal allergies have even been found to impact children academy performance, and this happens a lot. This is terrible. And this is terrible not only because the fact that I was saying priorly. Hi Gabby, how are you doing? It's not because of what I was talking priorly, but also because it impacts people's life generally. When we are having fun, when we are working, when we are trying to fall asleep. And I don't know if it happens to you. I mean, I want you to leave it in the comments if you have went through this, if you have gone through this actually. And it's the fact that if you're trying to fall asleep and all of a sudden you cannot do it, and you are thinking and thinking and thinking and thinking, and not only that, but also your nose is stuck, so you cannot breathe correctly, so you need to breathe with your mouth. This is terrible. And next day you wake up like, oh my god, I don't want to do anything. And that happened to me yesterday, and that is the reason why I didn't go live yesterday, right? So that is it. That is it. Let me check. Oh, and it says here that it impacts children's academic performance. This is terrible. And if you're a mother, absolutely, you should be taking care of this. You should be aware that your children's performance will, you know, highly decrease if you don't, take this allergy seriously, because your children cannot sleep. So, I just want you to think about it. This is so terrible. But, well, that's the thing, right? Hi, Lolito. How are you doing? Hi, Joen. Joen. I don't know how to pronounce that, but how are you doing? Okay, let's give it a shot. Okay, it says, there can be other health consequences too. Because their mucous membranes are chronically inflamed. People who have an allergy may experience more respiratory infections, up to twice as many, according to one study. When it isn't adequately treated, hay fever can cause severe chronic upper airway disease and ear infections. And as I said, it happened to me a lot. I am super more likely to have this type of allergies. I don't know. This is quite bad, but well, this is what we got, right? That's my life. Let me check. A hay fever, particularly in children, can also lead to the development of asthma, and asthma itself tends to be more severe among people who have also a hay fever. There's a concept of one airway, one disease, a Baron Cohen, and pediatric allergies in New Jersey, U.S., and author of a 2023 American Academy of Pediatrics Review of Allergies Rhinitis. Inflammation in the upper airway can influence the lower airway through shared immune pathways, she said, and that can lead to asthma. I don't know if you guys have a partner in the school, for example. Wait, I'm gonna say like this. I don't know if you guys have a partner at the school and say, no, I cannot play football because I have asthma. I don't know, but in my school that happened a lot. So for sure I was like, what the hell is that? And now I understand. I don't have asthma right now, but I kind of understand the feeling of not being capable of breathing, and this is terrible also. So it says a century-old problem and solution. While hay fever is one of the rise, its existence is not new. Based on his own experience and those of 28 other patients, the London physician John Bostock detailed seasonal symptoms as far as back 1828. His description included fullness of head, stoppage of the nose, sneezing, watering of the eyes, and discharge from the nostrils. All right. Okay, immunotherapy for allergens like pollen isn't new either. In 1911, another doctor had found that injecting hay fever patients with grass pollen extract could lessen their symptoms the following spring. The first double-blind placebo-controlled trial for grass pollen immunotherapy was held in 1950. No sé si saben lo que es la palabra held. O sea, bueno, saben que cuando estamos hablando de temas de tiempo, decimos eso, held. Pero cuando estamos hablando del lugar, por ejemplo, que se basa en o está en tal lado, se dice based on. Bueno, held in sería más que todo en el tiempo, ¿no? Held in, o sea, se llevó a cabo, fue sostenido en tal año, tal fecha, ¿no? That is the thing. Ok, yo creo que ya podemos... Bueno, no, ya va. Ajá. Ok. Yo creo que ya podemos dejar de leer este. ¿Cuándo llegamos en directo? Perfecto, 40 minutos. Yo creo que ya podemos dejar de leer este porque está muy heavy. Vamos a irnos un poquito más básico. Podemos ir a este. Que dice... your daily walk matters in more ways than you think. Ya lo hablamos antes, por ejemplo, cuando me preguntaron acerca de cómo podemos mejorar la lectura. Ya lo hablamos, entonces, bueno, that's the thing. Ok, vamos a hacer una cosa. Perfect. So, voy a estar leyéndolo igualmente, la misma dinámica, right? So, your daily walk matters in more ways than you think. And it states like this. When people think about building strength, they likely picture lifting weights or taking a high-intensive exercise class. walking is often dismissed as just cardio or something you do to reach your step count or get some fresh air. Okay, but let me check. Okay, but walking act as far more than a calorical burning a calorie burning activity. It's one of your body's most fundamental movement patterns. How you walk affects pelvic alignment, core stability, head mobility, balance, breathing, and even how your nervous system regulates tension. In many ways, walking provides the basis for building and expressing strength. Okay? Although the act of walking is not a resistance exercise unless you add external load without efficient gained mechanics. Without efficient gait mechanics, yeah, your strength training suffers. Think of walking as your daily fundamental practice that sets the stage for how powerfully you can move in the gym and everyday life. Okay, that's interesting. I know walking was so important, but I didn't know that much. So it states walking is your body's movement blueprint. And it states like every step you take is part of a coordinated sequence involving your feet, ankles, knees, hips, pelvis, spine, rib cage, and shoulders. All right. During a healthy gait cycle, your pelvis rotates in sync with your legs while your rib cage converse rotates with your arm swing. At the same time, your core muscles dynamically stabilize your spine to maintain their upright posture as your weights transfer from one leg to the other. This alternating reciprocal motion is not just about getting you from point A to point B. The patterns reinforces how your muscles fire in sequence and how your body transfer force during related movements. All right? So, in fact, the American College of Sports Medicine identifies gait as neuromotor training, a key component of overall fitness because of its role in supporting functional movement and lowering injury risk. All right. So, let's continue here. Can walking serve as a strength training? On its own, walking is not a replacement for a compressive resistance training program, but it is a fundamental aspect. Think of gait. Think of gait as a necessary base from strengthening exercise that prepares your muscle and joints to handle greater loads more effectively. All right. Basically, what we are just chatting right here is the fact that we cannot. I mean, these things of walking, the act of walking, it's not a replacement for strength exercise. And I was actually thinking about that early in the morning. Early in the morning today, I was discussing with myself. Like I was like, should I exercise today or should I walk? And I said, I mean, yeah, but you can you can try to do both because walking is not a replacement for strength. And I said to myself, like, okay, but if I'm walking, probably I'm gonna burn some calories, so that's what I want actually. But lately I decided not to do any of them. That's crazy. I'm so lazy. And instead, I am here alive, right? So basically, what happened was the fact that I decided not to do none of them. And I said, okay, you know what? Walking probably it's not gonna be a replacement for the resistance training program because I am not exercising the other parts of my body with with real strength. So that's the thing, right? And it clearly said here that it's not a replacement. So well, that's enough, right? Okay, nevertheless, wearing a properly fitted weighted vest while walking qualified as a type of traditional resistance exercise because of adding an extra load that creates greater demand on your lower body and core. You don't need a lot of weight. How you don't need a lot of weight. Conservatively, I don't know. Start conservatively with just 3% up to 5% of your body mass. Super interesting. This means the fact that we are just chatting right here that walking itself it's not a type of exercise. I mean, it is a type of exercise, but it's not a type of how can I say this, resistance training program. Instead, what we should do is adding a little bit of weight, external load, and it says here 3 or 5% of our body mass, and this is gonna be super cool because I mean that means that we are gonna be moving a little bit of more extra weight. And probably I'm gonna do it. Probably I'm gonna carry the back, and that's it. That will be super cool. Or even there are like these dumbbells. I don't know that are like sanded dumbbells, and that you put it around your feet, and you can walk with this. This is crazy. Wait, give me 1 second. I'm gonna check a message here because probably have a class, and I'm not sure. No, not yet. Okay, perfect. That's wonderful. Okay, we continue. Let's say hi here. Hello, man. Hello. Let's say hello, and let's say hello here. Okay. Nevertheless, ajá, ya te lo dije. We continue here. It says, our research on load carriage and weighted walking shows that trunk loading increases metabolic and musculoskeletal. What the hell is that? Musculoskeletal demand proportionally with added weight. So progress gradually, giving your body time to adapt before increasing the load because of wearing a vest distributes the added weight through your torso, close to your center of mass. It challenges postural stability without forcing you to alter mechanics and the way that pleasing weights on the limbs with ankles, ribs, weights can. Super interesting. Super interesting because basically it's saying what we were chatting like priorly, and this is good. Okay, let me check. If you choose to use weight on your arms or legs, keep them light, only a pound or so per limb, and focus on maintaining a smooth arm swing and control foot stride without exaggerating your stride. If you notice your gait changing, your shoulders short. I don't know this word. That's shouldering. I suppose it's like making this, right? But not really sure. Let me check. Encogimiento, effectively. But I don't really know the pronunciation, so let's check it out. We are gonna just apply what we were, discussing a few moments ago.
Shrug.
Shrug. So it will be chagrin, right? Your shoulders chagrin, or your hips hiking. The load is too much. Basically, that happens a lot at the gym too. If you guys are walking, if you guys are exercising, and you see that your posture is changing, you shouldn't be loading that weight. You shouldn't be loading that weight because that means that you cannot handle that load. All right. So when walking with any type of weight and resistance, go at a place that allows you to maintain good posture and breathing. What we were discussing a few moments ago. Like, hi Lumila, how are you doing? Hi Jota official, how are you doing? We are practicing English here. Only increase the load if you can walk with proper form. The goal is added muscular demand without distorted movement. Let me check on YouTube. Hi Lucia, how are you doing? Hi Anna. Wonderful. So, what happens when your gait is off? What happens when your gait is off? So, it says, walking is a natural human movement pattern, but its coordination can easily break down. That's why it's important to pay attention to your form, just as you would with any exercise, right? Let me check it out here. If your walking patterns lacks hip extension, you may notice your stride feels short, your posture is forward leaning, and your glutes seem uninvolved. All right, that missing activation to drive each step forward isn't isolated to your walk in the gym. It creates instability and compensation in many strength exercises, including squatting and deadlifting. Amazing. So likewise, if your rib cage is stiff and rigid while you walk, it can alter skeletal alignment and compromise your diaphragm's ability to function as a postural support, increasing the risk of a low back injury during the exercise that involve carrying or moving weight. That is basically it, right? Okay, so if we continue reading with this part, when your pelvic dips or shift excessively with each stride, it's signaling instability for poor motor control or weakness. As one leg swims forward, the other needs to help stabilize your pelvis and trunk, requiring coordinated engagement from your deep core, glute, hip, and leg muscles. without this stabilizing coordination in your gait. Movement is limited and chronic issues can develop in the form of back pain, hip discomfort, or knee strain. All right, that's basically what we are reading here. Okay, what I mean, in this case, right now because I disconnected the microphone. I am so dumb. Yeah, you can hear me well. Okay, my bad, guys. Okay, so what it talks here is the fact that you're having discomfort. If you are walking, if you are adding a little bit of extra weight, you're gonna be discomforted because you are gonna have excessive weight load, and this is normal. This is normal because your body is not used to that. So what you should do is decrease the weight according to this. Right? I'm not not trying to make up things. According to this, you should decrease your weight and walk. Normally you should walk. Yeah, normally with a little bit of weight. That's it. Like as we read at the beginning, 3 or 5% of it, and trying to avoid um, somehow the back pain, all right, and hip discomfort. Is you see that your shoulders are what was the word that we were checking? Shrugging, right? If your shoulders are shrugging and your back is leaning forward, or your feet, your legs moving kind of weird, you know that you need to stop and you need to decrease the weight because you cannot handle that weight, and that is the main problem of this. All right. So, simple cues to improve your walking quality. Small adjustment can immediately improve walking mechanics. And maintaining alignment. Oh wait. Okay. Maintaining alignment with your rib cages stacked over your pelvis. Avoid. That's what we were talking a few moments ago. Avoid leaning forward or arcing your lower back. Arcing. I love this word because I think this word comes from Germany. So, avoiding leaning forward. Leaning forward. What does leaning forward mean? ¿Qué significa leaning forward? It's when you are like this. Imagine this is your back. This is your posture. Esta es tu postura. And leaning forward is this. Making this movement, right? Esta es tu espalda. So, if you lean forward, you are doing this. Si te estás leaning forward, es hacer esto. So, you cannot lean forward. All right. So, push-ups. Push off the ground behind you with your back foot to take longer stroker strides. Allow your arms to swing naturally in coordination with your legs. Keep your gaze forward and your jaw relaxed to reduce upper body tension. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth, extending your exhales slightly longer than your inhale. Okay, this is also crazy, right? Because this is what we were talking about a few moments ago. I mean, in the last new that we were reading, right? We were reading about how to avoid allergies, or how serious are allergies, right? And we said that breathing is super important. That's the reason why if you are breathing with your mouth when you have an allergy, you cannot have good performance academically, in your job, physically. You cannot have good performance generally. So what happens is the fact that we need to take serious the way of breathing, right? Because of an allergy, or in this case, because of exercising. So breathe in with your nose, or through your nose, and out through your mouth, right? And we continue. It says how proper walking form can also relieve chronic tension. Walking chronic tension. Better walking mechanics can help alleviate your chronic stress-related tightness commonly experienced in areas such as hip flexors, shoulders, and lower back. Walking with a focus on how your body's moving and feeling helps you identify and correct dysfunctional patterns that keep you stuck in pain and stiffness. What is this word? What does stiffness mean? And we're gonna just do what we were doing. I'm gonna search here. I'm going to show you how you guys gonna do it. For example, we got this word stiffness, and we're gonna do the same because I don't know this word. And rigidez. As you can see, in case you cannot say this, you're gonna search for the meaning. And rigidez, fuerza, and its ability to move easily without pain. Stiffness. That's interesting. This is basically the word here. All right. Let me just switch this. Good. Okay, and we continue. And it says, when the way you walk allows your ribcage to move well and support diaphragm breathing, you encourage your nervous system to downshift and to release protective tension. Interesting, right? At the same time, your diaphragm is able to maintain its dual function as both respiratory and postural muscles, creating a stable alignment that relieves unnecessary compensatory tension. Okay, so reframing your daily walk is more than a way to accumulate steps. It reinforces alignment, the stability, and coordinated muscles activation that support how your body moves, whether you're doing a strenuous exercise or simply going about daily life. All right. So on YouTube, people on YouTube are reading this. So people on TikTok are not, and the people on TikTok have it a little bit more difficult because you guys are practicing, listening while we are practice reading here. Okay. So if you guys want to see everything, you can go to YouTube, and on YouTube we are live, and you can see everything right there, right? Interesting. Okay, this is the end of what we were reading a few moments ago. So give me 1 second. Perfect. Okay, so as you can see, as we said, walking is super important. Walking is super important if you want to improve your posture, if you want to avoid your chronic pain, if you want to avoid if you want to avoid plenty of things, even I think the type of reading. So we can chat about it, and we can say that walking is one of the most important things that you can do in your daily routine, right? Actually, exercise is generally, however, it says that even it's better than the gym because it's going to prepare your joints and your muscles to resistance training. So nice, nice, nice. Also, when we are adding load while walking, um, it's gonna cause a type of, let's say, extra weight for absolutely, but I don't know how to say it. Like an advantage, not an advantage actually. Well, yeah, it could be an advantage in order to improve your type of walking and to potentiate a little bit your walking training. So this will be good, right? However, it properly says how to do it because you cannot put like 3 pounds here, 3 pounds here, 3 pounds in your feet. No, you cannot do that because if you do so, you're gonna have even more pain because you're gonna shrug. And remember the word we practice. You're gonna shrug. This is the word shrug. Eso es lo que significa shrug, right? You're gonna shrug your shoulders and you are gonna lean forward. We already said about lean forward, and you're not going to properly walk, and you're not going to push off the ground with your feet, and this is what you're gonna be doing, right? Actually, I remembered a few weeks ago I was reading about how to properly walk because I started walking and I remember that walking and running. I was jogging too, right? However, it was so difficult because I remember that I had a type of pain on my feet, and it was like a tension on my feet. I didn't like it all. And what happened was that I stopped doing so, but I wanted to take up doing it, and I remember that I had that problem. I said like I don't know what is going on with me because like I said I'm jogging and all of a sudden my feet are hurting, but it was because I was not properly doing it. I was not properly doing it, and as we are walking or jogging or whatever, we should research a little bit about how to properly do it and how to somehow improve the way we are doing the activity. And well, this is what happens, right? Actually, it mentions here the glutes also. Your glute seems uninvolved. However, I would we need to read it. If your walking patterns lacks hip extension, you may notice your stride feels sure, your posture is leaning forward, and your glute seems uninvolved. Okay, actually, it was basically what we thought, right? Or what I was trying to say, that if your glutes are uninvolved, that means that you are not walking effectively because glutes for sure are working in every single type of exercise. And this is so crazy. This is so crazy because I remember I was chatting with my grandfather the other day, and he was telling me like, we were talking about what was the strongest muscle in the world. I said it's a glute because with the glute you move literally your whole body. And I remember we studied that and we researched a little bit, and it turns out that absolutely was. For if we are, for example, sitting, and we want to stand up, basically while standing up, your glutes are effectively working. If we are only walking, your glutes, if it's functioning to, or if we are jumping or whatever, your glute is all the time working. So this is the reason why if our walking patterns uh, are not properly aligned with hip extension, our glutes are not going to work, and we are going to have other type of problems, right? So it says that missing activation to drive each step forward isn't isolated to your walk in the gym. It creates instability and compensation. What the hell is this? Okay, instability and compensations in many strength exercises, including squatting or deadlifting. I don't know if you guys are properly associated with squatting, deadlifting, or type of exercise. I love those exercises. I think it's one of the best exercise you guys can do effectively, because these are calorie burning activities, right? When we are deadlifting with heavy weight, you have no idea how much muscle you are developing. And also, not only that, but if we are deadlifting, um, the calorie burn activity would be high rocket, literally. Um, and people say, no, I cannot, lift weight. I mean, you can. You can start with 20 pounds, and you go through the weeks. You increasingly try to figure out how to, keep increasing all the time, right? So basically, this is what this is the thing. What else? It says squatting. I like squatting. However, squats relies a lot on, somehow different type of patterns, right? Patterns that you should be used to. It's not only about squatting and that's it. It's not only about going up and up. No, it's not only about that. Actually, your back should be strengthened. You should have your weight well positioned here with base here, right? And on the other hand, your feet should be in a specific posture, and this is what's complicated about squatting, right? So squatting, I mean, it's really good. It's a really good exercise in deadlifting. However, it requires a lot of practice in order to, do it correctly. And what else? Oh, and deadlifting also. However, the lifting is easier. Even any type of coach at the gym will tell you just need to put your back straight, and that's it. And we have this word, likewise. What does likewise mean? Let's search it. I know what likewise mean, but I want you to search it. I want you to learn how to do that. I'm gonna switch to this so that you watch on TikTok and also practice. Remember, we are live on YouTube. On YouTube, we're live, and you guys can see everything here. And it says like this, likewise, in the same way, de la misma manera, also. So likewise, it's a synonym of also. Asimismo, in like a manner, similarly, that's how it works, right? Asimismo, seguramente, también, this is the meaning of also, okay? Oh, also not my white of likewise. So this is the thing. Okay, wait, I moved this, my bad. Okay. So, rib cage. What does rib cage mean? Let me know if you know. Let me know if you know. Let me know if you guys know what that word is. Rib cage. The rib cage is basically this part of the body. That's a rib cage. Well, I'm gonna search it here just in case you guys don't know, if you have no idea what that is. La caja torácica. Rib cage. Basically this part, right? This part here. What else? What other words did we check? Let's say low back. Low back, as we already said before, como ya dijimos antes en YouTube, esto es un adjetivo, ¿ok? No es un sustantivo, no es un verbo. Esto es un adjetivo por la rayita. Low es un adjetivo, back puede trabajar de varias maneras, pero en este caso está trabajando como adjetivo. So low back es la parte de abajo de la espalda. That's it. Injury low back es una. Injury low back sería como una. Injury sería como. La lesión. Una lesión de la espalda baja. Right? Bueno, por eso le digo espalda, back es un sustantivo, pero en este caso está trabajando como adjetivo al agregarle esta rayita. So, esto, vamos a mostrarlo aquí por TikTok también. Dame un segundo. Esto que está acá, esto está trabajando como adjetivo. So, low back injury, that's the proper way to pronounce low back injury would be injury como. Ya lo dije hace un minuto. Lesión. Injury, lesión, low back, espalda baja. Let's see other words here. Let's see other words here. Let's see other words here. Gait. This word is really interesting because we already chat about it. Vamos a buscar el meaning. Es andadura como tal. Pero si buscamos el meaning aquí, bueno, paso, modo de andar, la manera de andar. That's the word gait. That's basically it, right? Okay. What else we got? Any other word? Breakdown. Algo que se rompe, algo que se daña. So but its coordination can easily break down. Pero su coordinación puede fácilmente dañarse, corromperse, romperse, etc. Right? Let me check. It's stiff. We already chat about stiff. Esto es rígido. And that's it. Let me check if I have any word right here. Let me check if I have any word right here. Inhales. Esta palabra significa inhalar. Inhales. So if we search it right here, so that you can know inhalar, aspirar o inaspirar. That's it. What else? What other words do we have? Let me check it out. A bit. Exercise that involve carrying or moving weight. I think there are no. Okay, está lack. Esto yo lo hablé el otro día en TikTok. Hice un video y me comentaron mucho. Yo estaba diciendo the lack of context, la falta. In your walking pattern lacks hip extension, o sea, si tu patrón de caminata carece de extensión de, ¿cómo se llama el hip? De cadera, la extensión de cadera, ¿cierto? Es cadera, la parte de abajo de esta parte, sí, cadera. La extensión de cadera puede que notes tu stride feels short. Stride sería como la manera de, no me acuerdo cómo se llama esta palabra. Vamos a chequearla. El paso, la manera de caminar. Tus pasos más cortos. Tu postura. Ya hablamos de forward leaning. Yo lo dije como leaning forward, pero es porque lo estaba trabajando de una manera un poquito distinta. Yo dije, your posture will lean forward. ¿Ok? Es como verbo. En este caso lo está trabajando, como ya dije, como adjetivo. Lo que está haciendo esta rayita es decir que es un adjetivo. So, forward leaning, básicamente inclinación hacia adelante. And your glute seems uninvolved. Esta palabra ya la hablamos hace un minuto. Uninvolved, de que no se relaciona. You see the thing of allergy that we were chatting. Terrible. I mean, I got my nose stuck a few moments ago, but it's because of the allergies. I don't know what's going on with me right now. Okay, compensaciones. ¿Qué más tenemos por aquí? Squatting, rib cage. Let me check. Okay, I think there's no other interesting words here. Joints. Esta palabra la vimos hace un minuto también. Ya la hablamos hace rato. Joints. Ya estamos terminando, no problem. Joint significaría como las articulaciones. Pero también por ejemplo, en temas de general, en temas de la vida, un joint es todo lo que una junta, o sea, algo que se junte con otra cosa. Por ejemplo, en un carro, joints would be joint car. Son los componentes que juntan con otra cosa, ¿ves? Por ejemplo esto, que lo juntan con la parte de la rueda. Estos son joints. Por lo menos aquí, lo que junta la transmisión con el eje trasero sería un joint. Todo lo que junta esto también es un joint. Un ball joint sería este concepto. Todo lo que junta es un joint. Es como, en el cuerpo humano es una articulación. Pero en otros temas es algo que junta con otra cosa. So you can see joints. Todo lo que es joints. ¿Qué más tenemos por aquí? ¿Alguna otra palabra? Core. Esta palabra core is really interesting. Esta palabra core significa como el abdomen, en la parte el core. Right? También traduce núcleo, por supuesto. núcleo, centro. Pero si chequeamos aquí body, o sea, core body, podemos ver todo lo que son el core muscular, todo lo que es la parte del core. Right? Well, I suppose this is also talking about the rib cage, right? That we were discussing a few moments ago. ¿Qué más? ¿Qué más? ¿Alguna otra palabra interesante por aquí? I don't think so. I don't think there's gonna be any other interesting word here. Let me check. Oh, kind of rotates. Kind of rotates. Your rib cage kind of rotates. ¿Qué significa kind of rotates? Esto es un verbo. O sea, ya sé que cuando dije que tiene una rayita es un adjetivo, pero bueno, esto es una excepción. Kind of rotates significa como que rota al sentido contrario, right? As we can see, for example, a clock kind of rotate, you see? Esto es kind of rotate. Kind of rotation, standard rotation. Standard rotation, así. Kind of rotation would be like this. Creo que es en contra de la manecilla del reloj, ¿cierto? Kind of rotates. So that's a thing. A ver. ¿Qué tal, Freddy? ¿Cómo estás? Let's see. Posture, transfer. Ajá, ya lo vimos. Ya vimos estas palabras. ¿Qué más otras palabras interesantes tenemos por aquí? Creo que no hay ninguna otra palabra así como muy interesante. Let me check. Building strength, step count, or get some fresher, walking at like that. No, ¿y en el otro? Vamos a chequear. It is possible to train the body to resist seasonal allergies. A ver. Immunotherapy, inmunoterapia. Ya la chequeamos hace ratico. A ver, ¿qué otra palabra interesante tenemos por aquí? Culprit. Esta palabra interesante, no la conozco. Culprit, vamos a chequearla. Culpable. Fíjense que curioso, porque culprit, yo no, normalmente yo no le digo culprit, yo le digo guilty. Eso sería culpable. En este caso, por ejemplo, una persona que es responsable por un crimen o alguna misdeed. What is misdeed? Vamos a checarlo. Fechoría. Culprit. Yo no la uso. Me imagino que es más británica. Porque yo hasta donde he oído es guilty. Pero bueno, that's it. Culprit, right? ¿Qué más? What else do we got? Also, another word, another interesting word probably would be here. In last spring, no, yeah, we already chatted about this. Had completely altered the vice president. No, I don't think there's another interesting word here. Wheezing. What is wheezing? Well, wheezing basically. Sibilancias. What the hell is that? Jadear. Así la conozco yo como jadear. Let me check it out. Breathing with a whistling or rattling sound in the chest. Well, that's interesting. I didn't know that was called like that, but yo lo conocía como jadear, so that's the thing. Okay. Let me see if there's any other interesting word here. I don't think so. Let me check. No, I don't think there's gonna be any other interesting words here. Well, let me check. I'm gonna rotate the word. Okay, so basically that's it. I mean, I wanted to do this live a little bit short, alright? I know that we didn't practice like that much as other lives, but that was basically what I wanted to do because of the fact that, you know, yesterday I was not live and I wanted to real practice this because actually I'm gonna be on class in a few moments. So, in this class I'm gonna be reading about this, and well, it helped me a lot to practice these things, right? So also I have a low battery in my phone, so that is one of the reasons why, right? So basically we are gonna finish up right here. I want to finish in 2 minutes actually. Basically what we are gonna be doing in the next live, I'm just going to check it here. Last video, right? Last live that we were doing on YouTube, I had a few problems because I had copyright, and I think that we cannot see interviews of Shakira or Beyonce because they have copyright. However, I want to practice English with a few persons. I want to practice English with celebrities. This is going to be right? Because it was actually interesting. And also we can practice with Mr. Beast. I think Mr. Beast would be a great idea since I see people in the first video we made about Mr. Beast, you people liked a lot. Super interesting, right? So probably by tomorrow we are gonna be live again, but practicing with Mr. Beast. Yeah, I think that's gonna be it. Practicing with Mr. Beast. In the yeah, that's it. So that's basically it. I hope you guys liked it. I hope you guys could have practiced a lot. I'm gonna stop here. I'm gonna see you tomorrow at the same hour probably. And if you guys have anything, you can text me or whatever, and I'm gonna be just petty. All right. So I hope you guys enjoyed this live, and whatever you do, you can just comment it and help you like it. Yes, that's it. Live your life here. All right. So, see, I got my nose stuck so bad. I got my nose stuck so